So in this session, we'll be exploring innovative and smart parcel solutions that are transforming the way that universities and colleges are handling their deliveries, improving not only the logistical operations, but also enhancing the overall student experience. So we'll look at how technology can play a crucial role in simplifying parcel collection, boosting efficiency, ensuring that students have a seamless and hassle-free experience as they do so. We're excited to share insights and best practices and case studies direct from not only suppliers, but also users in higher education that highlight the benefits of these cutting-edge solutions and how they can be implemented to drive both operational and student satisfaction and improvements on the campus. So we're super fortunate to be joined by an expert panel who will provide valuable insights into this topic. By way of introductions, Sarah's already introduced me. Thank you very much. So yeah, I'm Ashley, business consultant at Kinetic, and I'm joined today by Arthur from Parcel Tracker, who's both founder and CEO. Good wave, Arthur. He's going to be sharing his knowledge and expertise around tech-based smart solutions for campus services and how innovative and forward-thinking unis, colleges, and companies are driving change in parcel management. We also have Nigel from University of York, who's mail and transport manager at the university. He'll be able to give us a practical view on how the University of York are using technology to optimize their parcel management, their management of parcels. And we've also got Anthony, Security Operations Manager at University of Liverpool, who will be discussing how these solutions have enhanced campus services and student experience. Sorry, at Lancaster, correction, at the University of Lancaster. Together, this panel brings a wealth of knowledge. We're looking forward to a dynamic and informative session today, which also allows for participation and Q&A from our attendees today. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming along, and we hope you find this discussion valuable as we explore smart parcel solutions. So without further ado, let's dive in. I'm going to hand over to Arthur shortly, who's going to give you a bit of a background on where Parcel Trackers come from. Before I do, I thought I'd just jump into sort of where we are with Kinetic. I'm in a really fortunate position at Kinetic. We partner with over 83% of universities in the UK and Ireland, as well as institutions across the globe. But we also work closely with those who service universities, like purpose-built student accommodation providers. This really unique perspective enables me to see how a wide range of universities and PBSAs manage campus services and student experience, and all of you do it differently, which is really valuable to see. So to provide in some background into Kinetic's relationship with Parcel Tracker, Kinetic wanted to provide a parcel management solution for our customers that integrates with our system and also tunes into the sector. Like with everything at Kinetic, we wanted to offer a product that was best in class. And after a full and thorough market evaluation and much deliberation, we decided to partner with the best in class product for parcel management, which was and is Parcel Tracker, which provided the opportunity to partner with them. So Arthur, would you be able to provide our audience with a bit of a backstory of Parcel Tracker, how and why you built the company and how you've been servicing the HE sector?
Definitely. Thank you very much for the introduction. It is a pleasure to be here. I'm looking forward to sharing some insights that we've gained over the last few years working in the sector. So this is one of my favorite photos. I think it captures, what is really happening. We're getting all inundated by parcels. So just a little bit of a background of how Parcel Tracker was born. I still have this vivid image in my mind when I would go down to the reception at my halls, and I would see Amazon or Royal Mail delivering packages, and I could see the color drain out of the receptionists and the porters' faces because they knew for the next few hours all they would be doing is managing packages. So we thought that there must be a better way to use technology to simplify the whole process, buy back some of that time for porters, front of house, mailroom teams, to really focus on what matters most, which is interacting and engaging with students and staff. The whole idea behind this webinar and Parcel Tracker is how do we take something which is typically a pain point, a cost center, and how do we flip that on its head and actually make it your superpower and actually use it as a proactive touch point, and a way to improve services across your campus. So we will actually be discussing what are the things that students care about the most, but then we'll also do a little bit of a touch base on what are the logistics options out there. How can you manage parcels in your organization, be it for the main mailroom or for the student accommodation? So before we jump into the actual logistics sides, I wanted really to emphasize the point of what we've been learning the more and more we've been working in this industry. And we work with a lot of institutions out there, but at the end of the day, what it really comes down to is the people and the experiences. And by what I mean is, when I look at my times in university, where we did actually build Parcel Tracker, what we remember the most is the people we interacted with, how they made us feel. I still clearly remember going to get my parcels from the reception and discussing about random things with our front of house staff, the porters, and that was really what made the interaction and the time at university so memorable. It was these awesome moments, and as you will see, Anthony and Nigel will discuss how they are leveraging Parcel Tracker and other solutions to improve these contact points. Now, before we jump into the nitty-gritty of how Parcel Tracker is being used, let us quickly chat about we call it the parcel management playbook. So what are the solutions out there that you could be implementing for your university, be it for the central mailroom or for the student accommodation side of things? So we've split it into 4 categories. We've got 3 of them listed here. And in terms of the 4 categories, we have lockers, parcel lockers, be they internal, external. We have manned receptions and mailrooms, so where staff is logging in parcels and logging them out. And then we have parcel rooms. So these can be fully autonomous or hybrid. Now, the 4th methodology, we call it YOLO. It's you don't do anything and you let the gods of logistics sort everything out throughout your organization. We usually don't recommend that. In terms of the solutions, we'll quickly touch base because both Anthony and Nigel use a few of the methods here. So I'll mention which ones they are using. But in the case of lockers, we have standard, we have either Amazon lockers or we have all courier lockers. So Nigel will mention quickly about their use of lockers in their organization. We also have mailrooms, and mailrooms can operate in a few ways. So we have point-to-point logistics where parcels are delivered directly to sites. So if you think that you have halls and parcels are delivered directly to your halls of residence by the couriers, this is point-to-point logistics. This is how Lancaster does their parcel management, for example, for student accommodation. Then we have a hub and spoke model where parcels are delivered centrally, and then by an internal courier team, they are distributed throughout the organization. And then there's a bit of a hybrid method, and Nigel will discuss lightly how they use a hybrid method of both point-to-point and hub and spoke logistics. Now, finally, we have the likes of parcel rooms, and these come in 2 flavors. So parcel rooms come in fully autonomous flavors where parcels can be delivered directly to the parcel room by the courier. So they unlock the door via Amazon Business Key, they drop off the parcels, and then students come and self-service collections. And then we also have hybrid mailrooms. So this is used by our clients like at Oxford, at Vital Living, where parcels are delivered to the reception. They're logged in by the porters, the front of house staff, and then students automatically self-collect the parcels using an iPad and access control from the parcel room. So self-access control. So let us quickly jump in and start discussing how Lancaster University are implementing parcel management solutions and how it's helping them increase their student satisfaction. Hi, Anthony, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Arthur. Thank you, everybody. Nice to remotely meet everybody. So as mentioned earlier, my name is Anthony Emmis. I'm the Security Operations Manager at Lancaster University. What that means is I manage the core security team at the university, but also 36 college porters. So just a little bit of context behind that. So Lancaster University is a collegiate university, for those who are not aware. and made up of 8 undergraduate colleges and 1 postgraduate college. The undergraduate colleges are generally made up of first-year students, and the size of each college in terms of the numbers of students per college is between 600 and 700 students per college. Student mail and parcels for the students living on campus is delivered directly to the relevant college. So every student on campus, be it whether living on campus or off campus, and every staff member is allocated a college. For those living on campus, in the student accommodation, their parcels and their mail is delivered directly to the college, where there's a college porter available 24 hours a day. The porter has a very varied role, but in the context of what we're discussing now, one aspect of that is the receipt, processing and handing out of student mail and parcels. Prior to introducing Parcel Tracker, I think we're in our 3rd year of Parcel Tracker now. Prior to introducing Parcel Tracker, we had a paper-based system where every parcel had to be manually logged. This information was then transferred to a spreadsheet. The spreadsheet was then printed off, pinned up in the college halls, foyer area for the students to check if they had anything to collect. They obviously also got the delivery notification from the courier, but they would have to come and check the sheet. This whole process, without exaggeration, took at least half of a 6-hour shift to process, due to the sheer volume of parcels that each college receives. And as has been mentioned previously, that's only getting more and more as more and more students move to online ways of shopping. It was obvious that 6 hours out of a 12-hour shift for each college just isn't sustainable from an environmental perspective. So we wanted to cut down on the paper wastage and the like, but also not the most efficient use of the porter's time and not the best experience for the student. So we wanted a system that freed up some time for the porters, but as I say, also improved the whole experience for our students. Bring in Parcel Tracker. So we also did quite a lot of research before we went with Parcel Tracker, but we settled on this system as we felt it suited our needs the best. By introducing a digital automated system or semi-automated system, we were able to drastically reduce the time that the porter spent on processing the parcels, literally down to seconds per parcel as opposed to minutes per parcel, which meant that they had a lot more quality contact time with the students when they came to collect the parcels. And we found that the contact time is really important, because that's the time when the porter starts to build up a bit of a rapport with the students. And it's just, as I think Arthur alluded to really in his opening statements, it's just day-to-day conversations. It's nothing more than that. How are your studies going? If they've got like a lot of parcels coming in, or is it your birthday, special occasion, that sort of thing, and just building up that rapport, which helps when the porters are dealing with other issues outside of processing the parcels. So, for example, if a student's feeling anxious or distressed, they're more likely to open up to somebody that they already know. And on many occasions, the porter will have to visit the student halls in response to maybe a noise complaint. And again, it's just makes that whole process a lot easier if that relationship has already been built up, and the porter can go into the student accommodation, say, whoever, turn the music down, it's a bit too loud, and they have that initial relationship. Don't get me wrong, that doesn't always work, and we have an escalation procedures in place for when it doesn't, but we find that in the vast majority of cases, a word from the porter resolves the issue. And it also helps greatly when we look at student welfare. There's many occasions when a student, generally in the early hours of the morning, because the professional counselling team have gone home by that point, and it's left to the porters and the security team to help signpost and help support students in distress in the early hours. And we found that the students are much more willing to open up to somebody that they already have built that relationship with, albeit informally. We also found that introducing Parcel Tracker helped us in terms of reducing complaints about lost parcels. We noticed it was becoming more and more frequent for parcels to be left in insecure areas, and this was particularly the case in the months immediately after COVID. And we were starting to receive reports of parcels going missing before the porter could process them. So if the porter's out dealing with another incident when the courier arrives, then the parcels would just be left outside, and we were getting complaints that parcels were going missing. By having the parcel tracker system, we're now able to digitally demonstrate whether a parcel has been received at the porter's lodge or not, and we can demonstrate to the student by simply showing them that we haven't had the parcel, and in the vast majority of cases that appeases the student, or at least ticks that particular aspect or avenue of where that parcel may be, and then we can support the student in other ways of trying to track that down. We've also eliminated the times when students will have a wasted journey to come and collect the parcel on the back of a text or email received by a courier. As I mentioned earlier, obviously, as we all do, you'll get a message from the courier when your parcel arrives to saying we've delivered your parcel. And a lot of the time, the students, prior to Parcel Tracker, the students would use that as the trigger to go down and collect their parcel, not really appreciating that there may be 50, 100, 150 parcels still to be processed, and their parcel might be at the bottom of that pile. And so what we now have is the ability to send out a QR code to the students, and they receive that QR code at the point when their parcel is ready to be collected. So it cuts down that frustration and those wasted journeys for the student to go down to the porter's lodge to be told actually it's not ready for collection yet. They know when they get the QR code that it will be ready for collection for them. So I just get, again, improving the overall experience of the students, which is really important to us all, I'm sure. So in summary, and just to wrap up, we believe that introducing Parcel Tracker ensures that we make the best use of the staff time, the porter's time, and the student gets a better overall experience, not just in terms of the mail system, but all the knock-on effects that I've mentioned previously. And that's me. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those insights. And I think mentioning the fact that students are more consistently getting their parcels, and when they're coming to get their parcels, they're ready. It's about standardizing what we call the Christmas effect. I mean, we're leading into Christmas right now, but every time we're giving a student a parcel, we're creating a positive point of association between the porter and then the student, right? So we call that the Christmas effect. Every time it's a gift to the student from the student themselves, but still we're capturing some of the benefit there. Thanks a lot, Anthony.
No problem.
Nigel, could you please share with us how you do things at the University of York?
Yeah, well, welcome everybody. I'm Nigel Smith. I'm the Mail and Transport Manager for the University of York, and I've been associated with Mail now for over 40 years. I know I don't look it. But at York, basically the process that we have now, we have around 20,000 students and around 4,000 to 5,000 staff. We roughly generate about 120,000 parcels a year for them 20,000 students. Currently at the moment we're about 96,000, which 28k of them were done through Parcel Tracker because we only joined partway through this year. What happens at York is that we get all the mail in from the couriers, mainly Parcel Force and Royal Mail on the morning. I have a team of 5 who then sort all the mail for the departments as well as the students. We have 11 colleges at the university, which is broken down into 3 delivery locations. Once we've sorted the rounds out, then they go out to all the departments and the colleges, where there is a portering team or reception team who then start to put all the parcels on the Parcel Tracker system. We used to have the KX parcels before this, slightly more sort of long-winded than what Parcel Tracker is. But all the staff at the moment seem very, very happy with how Parcel Tracker is compared to how they used to do it. We have 4 lockers as well on campus, of Amazon lockers. But again, there's only a fraction of the amount of mail goes into them lockers compared to what we get in the mail rooms. Generally on a Monday, we get about 1,000 parcels every Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday start to sort of die down again, where we pick up again later on in the week. The only problem with the lockers is that after 3 days, if the student doesn't collect the parcel, then they've got to take it away. So you get the complaints that, where's my parcel? And again, nothing to do with the university with the lockers, because they're like a standalone. So the advantage of having Parcel Tracker is that you get, like what Anthony was saying there, you get that camaraderie between the student and the member of staff. And I think for us, it's important that we have a regular staff. So out of our Piazza mailroom, we have 2 people who work full time, so the student sees the same faces week in, week out. They have camaraderie with them, handing over the parcels. They even getting cakes and biscuits from the students. They've obviously done a good job, so everyone seems happy with how the system is going. You don't get that interaction when you've got lockers. You've got to open it, you take your locker out, and then you move away. The beauty of the receptions is that the majority of the receptions that we have at the university are directly below the accommodation blocks. So it's just straight down. You don't have to go outside, collect the parcel, QR code, and away they go. We are looking at experiences going forward for a shop. We also have where the students and staff can post their own personal mail. So if it's something that they've received, we can do a return through Parcel Tracker, as well as people posting something out to mum and dad, or mum and dad posting out to the kids when they're at campus. It's a win-win situation really, because we're a lot cheaper than a post office, so it's cheaper for the students, and so we gain a bit and then they gain a bit. Looking ahead, we have a 10-year plan where we're trying to get a location where we've got all the packet and parcels into one location. So that'll take down stopping vehicles going all around campus. We're going to try and do things like a drinks machine, recreational areas where students can gather and have a chat, information boards, things like we can sell bike equipment like helmets, lights, locks, things like things stationary for posting items, boxes, and it's great to be able to have that interaction with people. And I think talking to the students, it's something that they're quite keen on. Over at the Piazza, we serve 5 colleges in one location, and the information centre, we serve 5 colleges in that service. It's quite new to the information centre, where the Piazza's been going for a number of years now. So I think going forward, that's something that we are working on, and I think it'd be beneficial to all. But working with Parcel Tracker has made things a lot easier, a lot quicker. Things are moving off the shelves a lot quicker. It's the process of from start to finish is a lot quicker, from just using the phone, take a few pictures, click a QR code, and away the students go. Before we had to present the ID card. We had to write the names on the parcel, write a number on the parcel. And I know going forward, a printer system is something that Arthur's team is working on as well, which will be quite beneficial to the universities as well. And really, that's it. Unless you want me to say anything else.
Thank you very much, Nigel. I think what is very interesting about the 10-year plan is creating this hub, which is, the hook is to get in people for parcels, but in reality, what we're creating is a place where people can rub shoulders and increasing the opportunity for chance encounters. It goes into that initial point that we mentioned, people like times, experiences. What I would suggest we do is we've got 2 unique people on the call, Nigel and Anthony, with a lot of experience. So I think we can open the floor for some questions. I have an initial question for them. And if you guys want to leave some questions in the chat, please feel free to do so. But until then, Anthony, Nigel, I'm quite curious. So when you are looking at the different types of solutions, lockers, parcel rooms, having mail rooms, what are some unique considerations that people might not be thinking that they need to make before implementing the solution? What are some of the pros and cons that they should be looking at? I guess let's start with Anthony, and then we can go to Nigel.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think we've touched on the really important aspect of that contact, that contact time, that physical contact time with the person. However, that said, I absolutely get the benefits and the flexibility of lockers, and we do have some Amazon lockers on site. I think the biggest hurdle we have really is where we site those Amazon lockers. The university doesn't ideally want them in an external location. The downside to that is that they're only accessible when the building's open, because we have very few 24-hour open buildings. So yeah, that's the downside of it. And then again, as Nigel mentioned, really it's the 3-day thing. I mean, it does raise a good point, and something I maybe should have mentioned when I was chatting earlier. One of the other major benefits we've had is that the time that a parcel spends on a shelf is far reduced, which helps massively from a safety perspective in the lodge. You're not walking over parcels on the floor, or trying to worry about the parcels on the shelving. The quicker you can get them out to the students once they've been processed, the better it is for everybody. Because it frees up that space and makes the Porter's Lodge a much more sort of friendly working environment, if you like. So yeah, I think yes, I can see the benefit of lockers. It is something that we have, and we will continue to look at alternatives and other options. But yeah, I think that's my biggest concern really, is where you site them if you don't want to site them external.
Thank you. Nigel, do you have any insights on lockers versus mail rooms versus parcel rooms?
Yeah, I think, well, I mean, you can't talk to a locker, can you? And I think the beauty of having sort of staff face to face is that camaraderie, is that familiarization. We did a project where we worked out that we need 117 35 bank lockers just to take the amount of Amazon parcels that we get. And obviously you just become a locker city. And like Anthony said, majority of ours are indoors, so they are open during the day. But when it comes to night, where the facility that we have at the information centre, like it's 24-hour, so the student can then roll up at any time, rather than going to a locker that is closed at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. And I think that it's that personality that you're going to speak to someone, and again, if you've got an issue of, oh, by the way, I'm locked out of my room, or do you know my plug isn't working, or so and so's broken, you can't say that to a locker, where you can actually say that to a member of staff who can then pass that on to the right departments to get something like that fixed. So I think locker is all right in some locations, but for universities, I think that personal touch is more important.
Awesome. Thank you very much. We have a question from Brian. What has been your experience? What has been your staff's reaction to using Parcel Tracker?
For me, absolutely positive. They all love it. They love the way that the phones are compared to how we used to before. Again, when you tell them that they're going to be changing to a different system, it's like, oh, change, I don't like it. Nothing but 100% positivity on my team. They all jumped at the chance. We had meetings with Arthur and his team and our IT team here lots of times before we implemented the system. We got them to test it. We played around with the phones, played around with dummy packages. So they were all familiar when we actually went live, and they've absolutely loved it, and they wouldn't want to go back to the old system. And the good thing about it is, with my team, I have monthly meetings with them to discuss how it's going. Is there anything that would like to add to it? Is there any kind of things on the system that isn't there that they would like? And again, I pass that on to Arthur, and we discuss what's coming and what isn't coming, and make sure that we're all on the same sheet and working together, really.
Awesome, thank you. Anthony, what about your team's experience?
Yeah, echo really what Nigel has said. There was skepticism at first. We've never done it this way before. What's wrong with the way we're doing it? But once the team got into it and started using it, and again, echoing what Nigel said, I think they'd be uproar if I tried to take it off them now, because they really do see the benefits of it. And I think what also helps with that is the video tutorials on the website, on the Parcel Tracker website. They're really good. And if we have a new member of staff coming in as part of their induction, they will go through those video tutorials, and I think to a person, they find them really useful and user friendly. So I would recommend those as well.
Awesome, thank you very much. We had a quick question about returns. So this is actually a very interesting point. So I actually do not know if you are using Parcel Tracker to log returns or you're accepting it yet. I can say that in Parcel Tracker, we have an outbound functionality where we can track proof of dispatch of parcels. But Nigel, Anthony, I'm quite curious, how do you see returns? Have you seen an increasing demand for it?
Not really, no. We've just got the odd one or two, but not many. No, a lot of them sort of seem happy with everything they're getting, but a lot of the returns they tend to maybe deal with it themselves rather than coming back to us about it. But we do get the odd occasion, and again, the staff can either try and help them through the system that way, or like I say, we have a parcel shop, so they can actually post items back if they want to do it a different way.
Yeah, we don't use the returns function. Basically, we have a post office on site, and the students just send it back via that post office, really, return to sender system.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for letting us know. If you are curious to see how we could implement we can do the return stuff through Parcel Tracker, we have a QR code on the next slide that you can scan, and we'll show you that in person. What is the next question? Yes, it's a question from Stacy around implementation times for Parcel Tracker. How long was that? Was it smooth?
From my perspective at Lancaster, yeah, what took the time was really doing the research in the first place. Once we'd decided on Parcel Tracker, I think it was quite smooth, really. The other issue that we find is ticking all the boxes with our IT team, our IT department on campus, because obviously we're using personal data in terms of sharing email addresses and addresses, names. So that obviously was quite a stringent test through the data privacy impact assessment process. I think it was those processes that took the time, really, rather than actually getting Parcel Tracker app on the devices and starting to use it. It was more the background processes before we got to that point that took the time.
Yeah, I think for our point of view, it's probably the universities that lagged the time rather than Parcel Tracker, because you've got your GDPR, like Anthony says there, and obviously all the IT integration. I didn't really get involved with that side of it. My team just sort of deal with the parcels, but I've got an IT team who worked with Arthur and integrating everything. And what I'd also like to say is that when you come to the training side of Parcel Track as well, it's very easy. It's just a matter of picking up a phone, following a few instructions about scanning it over the address and the QR and the barcode, and away you go. So it's not long at all. It's easy to pick up, hence maybe that's why the staff enjoy that rather than the other side.
Awesome, thank you very much. We have a question from Nika around how does the scanning in, notifying, scanning out process of Parcel Tracker look? And around that, I can give a quick answer, but I will send through some videos actually. But the general concept is that we want to digitize the scanning process. So as Anthony and Nigel mentioned, we upload a list, or we synchronize with Kinetic or Active Directories to synchronize across a list of all of the people living in a building or who receive parcels in a building, first name, last name, email. Parcels are then scanned in using the mobile phone. So one of these bad boys, when a parcel comes, all you do is just scan the label. It's going to use some AI and computer vision to detect who the parcel is for, who is the courier, what are the barcodes, and then send that person an email telling them to come collect their parcel. And then the person can come and collect the parcel with a barcode. Or in the case of a central mailroom, you can then deliver the packages out. I've actually sent through just now 2 little Loom videos you can have a look at, but we can actually, on the next slide, I will give you guys a link. You can book a time to chat if you would like to see how it works. Do we have any other questions for Nigel and Anthony?
While we're waiting for some more questions to come in, I have a question. You've both mentioned obviously your receptions and the relationships you have with your students, and that's amazing. And even fortunate to have, you know, on-campus shops, and I love the sound of your University of York sort of version of the post office. Sounds great. Some of our attendees on today's call might not have the luxury of having those sort of big receptions or any receptions at all. Do you have any advice for those kind of institutions that don't have that space or that staff, how the system could work for them?
Yeah, it's sort of difficult to know how other universities or departments or institutions are set up. Where it's quite unique for universities to either have halls of residence or not, or departments have got receptions, but it can work at any kind of reception. So if companies have got decent reception, you can work from there. You won't get the kind of quantities that, you know, obviously universities get. But I think it would work at any kind of institute, as long as there is a central point where that can be actually, the parcels can be delivered to. And if it's 10 parcels or if it's 1,000 parcels, as long as they've got the space to be able to store them. Because the beauty of the parcel tracker, you can identify locations, you can identify if it's damaged, or you can take photographs of the item. So it helps when you're actually looking for it, because you can actually see on the phone a picture of the item you're looking for. So you're not just looking for somebody's name in a pile of other parcels. You can actually see which is a lot better than we used to have before. So it makes it a lot easier. But I think this will work anywhere. It's just having the space to be able to provide where to store them.
Okay, so it's more that storage space than it is reception desk.
Well, yeah. I mean, you've got to be able to store them somewhere. Like we have a big room where we've got 5 long shelves, and all the parcels go on the 5 long shelves for each individual college. But it would work anywhere. Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. I think we are coming to an end with the questions. Thank you very much, Anthony, Nigel. In terms of our work, you can see some of the universities we work here at the bottom, and we are trying to improve the student experience one parcel at a time. And if you actually scan this QR code, it will take you to be able to book a meeting with myself and my colleague, and we're happy to give you guys a demo. And we have worked with Kinetic to actually have a unique offer up till the end of the year. So as Black Friday is rolling around the corner, you will notice that the parcel volumes are drastically increasing. So with Kinetic, we've worked together to, if you would like to book a demo ahead of the end of the year, we can set you guys up on a free trial, and then we are also waiving the setup fees. So the idea there is to help you guys out, maybe not before Black Friday, but at least during Black Friday. So do scan the QR code, and do not hesitate to message me. My email is arthur@parceltracker.com. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for that, Arthur, and also to Ashley from Kinetic. Just to let everybody know, if anybody on the call is attending the CUBO Winter Conference next week at Loughborough, both Kinetic and Parcel Tracker will both be there. So if you want to carry on any conversations, you have plenty of opportunity to liaise with the team next Wednesday and Thursday. If anybody hasn't booked and they are still wanting to come, do feel free to reach out to me. And on that note, I will just thank everybody again for attending today. The recording of today's session will be uploaded onto the CUBO Knowledge Hub in the next hour or so. So if you want to go back and refer to anything that was discussed on today's call, that will also be available for you to refer back to, or to forward on to any colleagues that weren't able to attend today. Thanks very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Cheers now. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you. Cheers for
Thank
that.
you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.